What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I go into this video, I want to thank everybody that has supported and contributed to my channel over the past year. I want to give a heads up to people who are new that if you want to contribute to this channel, you can do so in the links in the description box below. And also, if you want to sign up to the Patreon, you can do so in the link in the description box below. To those who might not be familiar with the Patreon is an alternative site to YouTube. It's a site where there is a fee, but on this channel, the fee is only $2 per month, and I keep it low because people have things they got to pay for in their life, so it's always going to be $2 per month. And I already have on the Patreon over 100 videos that are already uploaded twice a day. And I'm going to try to up the ante as far as my production even more so on the Patreon. I uploaded 18 videos last month on Patreon. I want to try to get it to more like at least 20 to 25 videos a month on the Patreon. So I want to make it feel like you guys are really getting a bargain and getting your bang for your $2 a month. All right. So on the Patreon, I'm able to talk about topics I can't talk about on YouTube due to censorship issues. And I can talk in a way that I can't talk on YouTube. So that's why I strongly advise anybody that supports my channel to come over to the Patreon. I think it's really worth it. You know what I'm saying? I do take requests. I got a request just today for YouTube. I take requests for Patreon. So, having said that, let me get into this video, man, about Barry Bonds. All right, now, Barry Bonds was a guest hitting instructor for the San Francisco Giants, the team that he starred on for many years in the 1990s into the 2000s. And he gave an interview to The Athletic, an interview in which he said that he longed to be remembered by the sport he once was on top of, as well as admitting that he should have built a better relationship with the media. Barry Bonds told The Athletic, quote, "I feel like a ghost. A ghost in a big empty house just rattling around." He added that he felt like he's been given, quote, a death sentence by Major League Baseball. "My heart is broken, really broken," he said. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the fact that unlike Pete Rose, he hasn't officially been banned by baseball, but for all intents and purposes since 2007, he's been whiteballed from Major League Baseball. Okay? And also, it hurts him. I know it has to hurt him that he's not in the Hall of Fame. The time is running out. His percentage of the vote, along with Roger Clemens, is going up. But at this rate, he's going to have a remarkable jump up over the next 2 years to get in. I just find it, look, and I don't mean any disrespect to Larry Walker. Larry Walker was a fine slugger for the Colorado Rockies. But there's something wrong with Major League Baseball when you have Larry Walker in the Hall of Fame and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Pete Rose not. I'm fucking sorry, okay? I'm fucking sorry. And the thing that really pisses me off about this shit is the Houston Astros players who were involved in that cheating scandal, right? They're going to get away with a slap of the wrist. They cheated the fucking game, and they're going to get away with a slap on the fucking wrist. Okay, yeah, Barry Bonds might have taken steroids. Okay, he did. Let's say he did. Okay, he did. All right? Roger Clemens, they did. But if you take away those years, even if you take away those tainted years that they supposedly cheated, okay? Before that, Hall of Fame worthy career. And don't get me even fucking started with the fact that the silence is deafening when it comes to Tyson Fury, and there's evidence that's come up showing that he's cheated, whether it's performance-enhancing drugs or whether it's power-enhancing additives, I guess I'll use for lack of a better word, within his gloves. Okay, boxing is a whole different ball game because with the other sports, okay, it gives you a competitive advantage. Boxing, you can kill someone, okay, and the silence is deafening on ESPN and Fox Sports and all these main media outlets that talk sports and in particular boxing. Where's Dan Raphael? All right, where's Teddy Atlas? Where's Max Kellerman? Where are these individuals talking about this? But Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Pete Rose, three of the greatest, and I mean the greatest, Major League Baseball players that have ever stepped on the fucking field, are banned. But you got cheaters like the Houston Astro players and Tyson Fury being lauded. Well, in particular, Fury lauded. Fuck you when it comes to integrity of sport. Fuck you guys when it comes to judging people. My thing about it is this, man. Major League Baseball isn't a saint. Major League Baseball knew they were hemorrhaging fans in the 1990s after the strike. The strike in 94 cost, this is just my estimation, okay? I'm not an expert per se, but I would say Major League Baseball lost half of their fan base after the 94 strike. If you go by ratings, they lost half of their fan base after the strike in 1994. Now, when Cal Ripken had his had his streak in 1995, that brought back some fans. Okay, it did. It brought back some fans. Okay, to see this long-standing streak. Ripken was a very popular player, especially with the Orioles, but he wasn't a superstar to the caliber of some other guys. But the streak brought some of these guys back. But it was the home run race, essentially. It was the home run barrage starting in 1995 that brought Major League Baseball back to an extent. And don't tell me that Major League Baseball didn't know, because it's mighty funny when you look at the fact that from 1977, when George Foster hit 52 home runs for the Cincinnati Reds, until 1990, when Cecil Fielder hit 51. That was a 13-year span where no one hit 50 home runs, right? Then all of a sudden, from 96 to 98, you got everybody hitting 40, 50 home runs. So Major League Baseball knew what was going on, okay? They knew what was going on. And they knew that something was wrong with McGwire and Sosa were doing what they were doing, okay? But they were cashing in. Fans were coming back in droves. Major League Baseball's popularity was probably at a damn near all-time high, or the highest it's been in years or decades. And they knew what was going on, all right? And everybody was tuned in 98 during the home run race, okay? Barry Bonds, if he did cheat, and we all kind of know he did do it, but if he did do it, I'm pretty sure that his prime reasons for doing it were the fact that throughout the 1990s, we all know that him and Ken Griffey Jr. were the best players in Major League Baseball at that time. But especially with Bonds, because of his relationship or lack of relationship with the media, he never got credit for it. So it had to peeve him to see lesser players like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, all right, get all of this media coverage. So Barry Bonds, who throughout his entire career up to that point had played the game clean, right? But he saw these guys who he knew were cheating, all right, get all this praise. So in his mind, he said, you know what? If you guys think that what they're doing is something, let me get on that stuff. So he took it and he obliterated McGwire's record, okay, and put up numbers that even Babe Ruth couldn't match. Now all of a sudden, When Barry Bonds is putting up these same numbers, now all of a sudden Major League Baseball and fans, in particular fans, I'll say fans, now all of a sudden fans, certain fans in this country who were cheering McGwire when he broke Maris's record, now all of a sudden these conspiracies go up. I think Bonds is cheating. I don't think he's doing it the right way. You know what, guys? Maybe it's not the smaller ballparks. Maybe it's not the baseballs are juiced. These guys are using steroids. Well, that's funny because Mark McGwire went from being 210 pounds to 265 pounds. He put on 50 pounds of muscle during his playing career. So you're telling me that has nothing to do with possible steroid use? So yeah, Bonds brought it up. Okay, he did. That still doesn't explain the hatred that people have toward him in particular. Mark McGwire admitted to cheating, but Mark McGwire has been, although he's kept a low profile, he's been invited back to baseball. He has a job. He's been a hitting coach for years. I think he came back for a couple years with the Cardinals. I think he was a hitting coach with the Padres, or he might still be with the Padres. And I think he's been with the Dodgers too. I can't remember exactly which team he's with now. But he's been in Major League Baseball for a while. He did that because he wanted to get back in the game when he admitted to being on steroids. Now, some people say Bonds should just admit it, and that might be his ticket back. I don't think it's going to work for Bonds, because the first thing that's going to happen if he admits to having used steroids, they're going to pounce on him. We told you he was a cheater, blah 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 blah. You know, he's been lying all these fucking years. We should never let in a liar. He's a cheater and a liar. No, don't give him the satisfaction. It's not going to be in Bond's lifetime, most likely. And it might not even be in my lifetime or even yours. But eventually, when all of these individuals who are connected with the steroid era are gone, and the people who have the heated passion against those who, in their minds, feel like tainted the game are gone, and you have a more objective group of voters out there, I think eventually Barry Bonds is going to get in, Roger Clemens is going to get in, and I think eventually even Pete Rose is going to get in, because people are going to say to themselves, how is it you have this terrible cheating scandal with the Houston Astros, which is the worst World Series cheating scandal that we've had in 100 years, and all these players just get a pass? Remember with the cheating scandal, what was it, the White Sox scandal? I think it was back in 1919. All those players, Shoeless Joe Jackson and others, they were banned from baseball. But Altuve, whatever his name is, he's going to go on to play. Okay, even though we saw the footage that showed after he hit a big home run, I think it was in the ALCS or whatever, he made sure that none of his teammates were able to open his shirt so he won't see the wire as he's communicating with people so he can know what pitch is coming. But no one's going to take away his MVPs or his titles. But Pete Rose, because he betted on a game in post-playing career, okay, he's going to stay banned from baseball. And I think there's something wrong with that, in my opinion. Now, I think with Pete Rose, he's been banned for 30 years. 30 years. That's enough, man. When you look at what he was banned for, and you look at what some of these guys who are still playing and what they did, cheating. No, I'm sorry, but in my eyes, especially when you consider the fact that the laws on sports betting have laxed so much now, as opposed to 30 years ago. The laws with sports betting is so different now, and so pretty much it's legal now. It just seems, it almost seems sort of, it's where I'm looking for. I mean, it's sort of antiquated, but it's not the word I'm looking for. But anachronistic. It's sort of anachronistic for Pete Rose to be banned with the way that we now treat sports betting. Plus, you look at how long he's been out of baseball. I just find it just terrible, man, that these three guys, these three legends, are not with the sport. Roger Clemens, too. I'm not mentioning him enough. Roger Clemens was the best pitcher in baseball during most of the 1980s into the mid 1990s. He was the best pitcher in baseball, the most dominant pitcher in baseball. I believe he's won 3 Cy Young Awards. 3, okay? Not one. To win 1 Cy Young Award probably will get you into the Hall of Fame. To win 2 of them, you're an extraordinarily dominant pitcher. To win 3 Cy Young Awards and you're not in the Hall of Fame, for Barry Bonds to have won 7 league MVPs, 7, plus the home run record, plus the all-time home run record. And then for Pete Rose to have had multiple batting titles, to be one of the main cogs in those great red machine Cincinnati Red title teams in the 1970s, to be the all-time hits king. I don't understand how Major League Baseball can even consider the Hall of Fame a Hall of Fame without those guys. It would be like the NBA not having Michael Jordan, Kareem, and Larry Bird in the Hall of Fame. But you're talking about great Draymond Green, a Hall of Famer potential. Get out of my face, man. It's a fraud and disgrace. It disgusts me. One other thing, man, that pissed me off is the way that Major League Baseball used Barry Bonds toward the end. Like I remember that last year, 2007, with the Giants. They would cut away from regular broadcasting just to show Bonds' at bats, just in case he hit a home run as he closed in on the record, 745 and 46, onward to 755. And I remember when he broke it, I think it was August of 2007. You know, they had this game specifically televised just for Bonds because they suspected that he was going to break it. And ultimately he did. And then I remember as the offseason went on, it was a speculation about where Bonds was going to go because he wanted to keep playing. And one of the main speculations was that he was going to go to the New York Yankees. And that with that, by him being a left-handed hitter, with that short right field fence, that potentially he could hit 40 home runs or more with the Yankees, and he would be a major addition to that team. And I guess more importantly for his legacy, he could finally win a World Series, which is something that had eluded him throughout his career. But it wasn't to be. He was effectively whiteballed. Nobody called his phone. Nobody in Major League Baseball wanted this guy who was the best hitter of the 2000s. All of a sudden, nobody in Major League Baseball wanted him. He was whiteballed, okay? And I'm going to tell you something else, too. If I haven't said this already, I don't think I've said this. One of the reasons why I'm so animated about talking about Barry Bonds is because when I saw the slanted media coverage he got in 2001, that was my first experience witnessing racism. I had never really seen it in sports, but I was contrasting it with how they showed McGuire when he went on his uh, assault of the home run record in '98, just 3 years prior, and the way that they covered it, contrasting to how they covered Bonds. Bonds was seen as a villain for some reason. All of the press readings I was seeing, everything was negative, 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 and that was the first year that you really saw them bring up the home run, the steroid issue. Before that, it was more or less, oh, these guys are just big and stronger than everybody else. These guys are just bigger, stronger, faster than the prior generations, right? You heard whispers of steroids, but it was more, well, the ballparks are smaller and the ball is a little bit more livelier. That's why. But these guys are so big now. But the minute that Bonds broke McGwire's record, now all of a sudden the narrative was, oh, well, he's cheating. He's on steroids. That's when I said to myself, you know what? Now I see what the elders are talking about. Now I see what some of these older dudes are talking about with how these guys aren't fair. And we all know what really is behind this. So that's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think.